Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Adrian and welcome to Snippy and Lippy's. Today we're going to ask Princess Cruises the question, when is a sweet not a sweet? Stay tuned.
Ah, sweet!
To start off this tale and give you a little background on us, my partner and I are based in Australia and we've done a couple of cruises to New Zealand from Sydney round trips in the last 2 years. So we're not really into booze cruises and family mega ship, that kind of thing, so we wanted another experience, so we looked at what was available in the area. Now, being in Australia, like I said, it's very limited with the a lot of older ships and limited destinations that we haven't been to. Anyway, we did some research. We decided to give Princess Cruises a try on their Pacific Islands cruise to Fiji, Vanuatu, etc., Mystery Island. So we booked a 13-day cruise in March this year, so about 6 months ago. Now, when I booked the cruise, they had a special on. When you booked a balcony cabin, you were upgraded to a mini suite. So I booked that, and I booked the Princess Plus package with the drinks and Wi-Fi included, and gratuities, which in Australia gratuities are generally, well, they were then included in the fare price. When I was planning the trip, I had to look at thoroughly on their website to see what was included and what wasn't, what we had to add, what we didn't. One of the things I noticed was a concierge lounge. Not something we really need because we had drinks and all that included, but it's always nice when you're on a cruise to be able to get a cup of tea late at night before you go to bed, just take back to your cabin. And we didn't really want to wander all the way up to the buffet or use room service. That sort of thing is very wasteful. So we had a look at the concierge lounge on there, and it said, and I quote, "The Princess Cruises Concierge Lounge is an exclusive amenity available to suite guests on Royal, Regal and Majestic Princess ships." Now, we're on the Royal Princess, so sure, it's included. That's excellent. So because of this, I did some more research and I found out that the concierge lounge was on deck number 14. So I booked a cabin on deck number 14 so we could be close by, to, like I said, to grab that cup of tea before bed. Nothing more really. It's an internal lounge, so there's no windows. You can't sit there looking at the ocean. You can read a book or something like that, but you can do that in your cabin. So it really didn't offer us any more than that cup of tea. Now, on the day of sail away, we decided to go to the sail away party up on deck, which was a little bit of fun, have a wander around the ship and have a look. But we still had a couple of hours to kill before dinner, so we thought we'll go and have a look at the concierge lounge and see what it's like. So we walked there and we used our little medallions and waved them over the thing, and it said, "Access denied."
Denied!
We thought, oh, this is a bit strange, but it is embarkation day and these things happen, so we'll just go down to guest services and sort it out. So we arrived at guest services. There was 2 huge queues. This can happen on embarkation days. Everyone has a problem with Wi-Fi or whatever, drinks, whatever, even getting into their cabin, I know this. But anyway, there was a queue for suite guests only, which was a bit shorter. It was about 10 people deep. So we got in that queue and waited and waited and waited. The people in front of us said, "Hope you're not in a hurry." We kind of expected that, but we had a bit of time to kill anyway, so it was fine. We got to the front of the queue and a guy named Troy came and served us. We told him what had just happened. We'd been to the lounge and we tried our medallions and they didn't work. And he said, "Oh, that's no problem. The concierge lounge is a separate card, so I'll just check it out for you." So he started frantically typing on his computer. He then came back and he said, "The reason you've been denied access is because," and I quote, "you are in a mini suite and the concierge lounge is for suite guests only." I said, "Okay, well, we are in a mini suite, which is a suite." And he said, "No, a mini suite is not a suite."
Oh, no, he didn't.
The word suite is in the name. He typed and typed again on his computer, madly typing, like not looking at us, not engaging really. And then he frantically came back and said, "I'm sorry, but that's what it says. The mini suite is not a suite. There's nothing I can do."
Pieseznan.
I said to him, if you're looking on your website or on your any of your paperwork for where it specifically says a mini suite is not a suite, I said you won't find it because I've looked. So, and he disappeared out the back.
15 minutes later.
And then he came back around, didn't acknowledge us, started typing again. I said, look, if you're still, are you sorting this out or are you still trying to find where it says a mini suite is not a suite? He admitted to the latter, so I said, no worries, get me an officer, I want to speak to an officer. This is ridiculous. We'd already wasted probably 40 minutes by this stage. So ridiculous. Anyway, an officer came out and he said his name was Debusis. Well, I read his tag, it said Debusis. I explained the whole story to him again, what had happened. And let me point out by this stage, it's a pretty easy fix for them. They can say, look, leave it with us. Here's access to the lounge for this evening. We'll sort it out and we'll get back to you tomorrow. Like, rather than holding everyone up, just sort out this pretty minor issue. Anyway, so he said to us, after we'd gone through the whole story again, we'll speak to the company, whatever that means. I thought they only used terms like that in The Godfather. He said, we'll speak to the company and we'll get back to you tomorrow with an answer. Again, I've really got to point out that this is such an easy fix for them. They could have given us access and said, okay, look, you're right, the website is not correct, it does not state that, we'll update the website, even change the name of the mini suite to Glamorous Balcony or whatever, just to specify that mini suites are not part of the suites category. It's pretty simple to fix. It cost them really nothing to give us access for the cruise. You know, it was only 13 days, and like, as I said, it wasn't for drinks or anything like that. We already had that, and they know that we already had that. So it was really, really sickening, and their inflexibility was really getting on our nerves by this stage. I said to him, look, the way it's going at the moment, we're not going to book Princess Cruises again. And I will point out that since this 6 months ago, we have booked our next cruise in Japan next year. Not only do we book, 4 of our friends are coming as well. It's a total of around $36,000 that Princess are not going to get because of their inflexibility. Just ridiculous. The next morning we're in our cabin and the phone rings, and I answer the phone and it's Troy again saying, we just heard back from the company and they've agreed that it doesn't say anywhere on there that the concierge lounge is included with mini suites. Again, I said it doesn't say anywhere on there that the mini suite is not a suite either. So, you know, this is wrong. It's just wrong. And again, the inflexibility is just showing like crazy. So we said, no worries, we won't be booking another Princess cruise after this, and I will be going online to warn other people, which is what I'm doing now. Inflexibility seems to be a bit of a norm on Princess Cruises. When I first booked this, about 3 or 4 weeks after I booked it, I was online and just price checking like you do, and I noticed that the cruise was now a couple of $100 cheaper. So I rang them up and I said, oh look, I've seen the same cruise we're doing is now a couple of $100 cheaper. Can you price match? They said, nope, we don't price match. End of story. I said, oh, that's strange. They said the only way you can book that is if you cancel your current cruise, rebook the new price, and then you will save the money. I said, yeah, but if I cancel the cruise, I'm going to lose $1,700 deposit, which they force you to make, to save $200. That's just ridiculous. So I'm going to lose $1,500 to save too. Again, so just an indication of their inflexibility. The other thing to mention about the concierge lounge is that we walked past this, because we were on deck 14, the same deck. We walked past this many times during the cruise, the 13 days, and I can honestly say that we never ever saw more than 4 people in there at one time. Now it's not a huge space, but it's pretty big, and I thought if 4 people are using it, it's really not benefiting that many people. I know we weren't there all the time, but every time we walked past, morning, noon, night, most we ever saw 4 people in there. So ridiculous. And also because of their inflexibility, to get that cup of tea in bed at night, we just used the medallion, got room service, which was included in our Princess Plus package. So this meant they had to get someone in the kitchens to boil the water and teabag and make up the tray, and then someone to bring it. So using 2 staff members to save them, you know, the not being flexible. Just ridiculous. Anyway, not a good way to run business, Princess, and as I said, we'll never sail with them again. So just to summarise, a mini suite is not a suite on Princess Cruises, so be very careful when you're booking that you are aware of what you do get and what you don't get within your booking package. Their inflexibility has just been excruciating for us, and as I said, simple fix on their part that wouldn't have cost them anything, but they've decided to be inflexible and they've lost future bookings from us and people we tell, I say don't go on Princess again. It's quite surprising because overall Princess have quite a good reputation online, so we were surprised at their inflexibility. I'm going to do a vlog in the near future about our cruise experience, the good, the bad and the very ugly. Don't want to bag Princess completely because there was a lot of good things on the cruise, but there were a lot of bad and some really, really ugly situations, but stay tuned for that. Now, I haven't been to their website since we booked the cruise because I've got no intention of booking with them again. I don't know if they've updated it or not. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Their inflexibility tells me they probably haven't, but yeah, good luck. Now, I know there are a lot of Princess Cruises fans out there who will say, well, everyone knows the mini suite's not a suite, and everyone knows this. Well, we were first time Princess Cruises and we didn't know. So this video is for other people like us who haven't been on a Princess Cruise before to let you know that it's not like that. Have you had a negative experience with Princess Cruises or their guest customer relations? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear some feedback from other people. Have you had a positive experience on Royal Princess? I'm sure many have. We had a lot of good things on the cruise, but yeah, equally as bad. So love to hear some feedback from people. Thank you for watching. If you found this video entertaining or informative, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. If you want to see more content from us, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy cruising.